Hey, what's up, you guys? If you're new here, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Today, we're going to be going over the best optics in Warzone. All right, starting things off, we got this nice little blue dot. I think it's called the Cronin. The reason why I really like this one is it has like this squared out, and it obviously just is a blue dot, and it's just super clean. And you could, like, right now, I could see this is what, 70 meters away, and I could see pretty clearly right there. And I mean, I know obviously we're in Warzone, you deal up with up to 400 meters, but within your AR, like, or your SMG, I feel like this optic is very, very good. There's nothing obstructing it, and also with, I don't know what it is about the blue dot, but it just always seems to just, I don't know, I just seem to be more accurate with it. And you can just see, like, right there, like, I don't know, it just feels easier to control to me. All right, next up we got, I forget what this one's called, so I'm gonna put it up on the screen. I think this one's a super underrated one. I mean, look how much clear, like how much more zoomed in it is. And the reason why I chose this one is because you can toggle it, and when you toggle it, you get the exact same optic as the previous one that I just shown you. The only difference is that you have a red dot. Kind of build it for range, but kind of build it for speed. I think this is a good optic because you get that zoom effect, but then also if you need it really close range, you can get it done. In previous games, it didn't feel like it was that useful, but in this one, it does feel more useful just because of like the way the TTK feels and the movement and everything like that. I just feel like you can get away with optics like this. So I definitely put those two as like my two personal favorites that I will be using. I just think they're super clean, and I just feel really accurate when I use them. Manage and the recoil, relatively good, about the same. All right, next up we got this optic. This one I don't feel as good. I do like it, but I also don't. Just this top half really annoys me, and I like, say someone's up there, boom, it's blocked, or they're in the top window, blocked. That's one thing that really holds this back for me, and it just doesn't feel like it gets as much of a zoom. I feel like I'd get the same as just if I had like a red dot or something. I don't know, I definitely put this one up there, but I just feel like there's other ones that are better, but I thought I'd mention it. Next up, we're moving on. This was called the Hollow Sight in Modern Warfare. I think this one's also just super clean. I don't know what it is about me, but I love the boxed out look. I don't like it to be like a small little oval. Personally, I just think it looks super clean. I wonder in the future if we're gonna be able to change the reticle, and you can see pretty clearly. I mean, like I said, this is like what, 70 meters,
moving this way,
79 meters. Like, you can see pretty clearly right there. And I'm gonna show you what the visual recoil looks like. Pretty minimal, especially with the Lockman. I mean, look at that recoil plot. All right, next up we got the VOK, probably the most known optic in all of Warzone. Now, this one is different from the Modern Warfare one. You're gonna get more of a zoom effect. I think it's 4 times magnification, and you're gonna have sniper glint with this. And as you can see, it's super clear. Like, I can see exactly what's happening, and the reticle itself is not inhibiting you at all. Like, it's super clean. Like I said, this is what, 79 meters, 81 meters if you hit the wall. Like, I can see clearly. You could definitely even stretch it out probably. I'm gonna show you what the visual recoil looks like. I think this is definitely a top tier optic right here. You can see that the visual recoil is like pretty accurate with all the other ARs that I've been using. All right, next up we got this scope. This one is also just, it's considered like a sniper scope, I guess. The reticle itself is just super clean. You can see exactly what's happening. And what, that's 81 meters, and I can see perfectly. You could definitely stretch this out, and I think you can get away with this optic on your AR. Like again, if this is like your primary and you have like an SMG secondary or whatever, the only downside to this is I feel like this one does have more noticeable recoil than all the other ones that I've shown, which I'll show right now. I'll show you what the visual recoil looks like. I just feel like what you see is more visual than what's actually happening. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of jolting. Like, all right, next up we got the Forged Tack, which is very similar to the previous one that I just shown, but this gives you just even more zoom. Like, I mean, you could see it. Like, look at that. But the visual recoil is pretty much the same as the previous one. And you can see with the visual recoil, it's pretty much the same. I think this is a super good optic. You can see over 100 meters with this pretty clearly. All right, next up we got another hybrid one coming up on here. I don't really like the reticle that you get. I feel like it just kind of gets in the way to me. But again, like, this is 80
moving
meters,
this way,
and you could see pretty clearly what's happening down there. And it even, if you need it, even has a little red dot. But I don't feel like it's as clean as the very first one that I shown you, because again, it all comes down to personal preference. Just because I like something doesn't mean that you can't like something. That's why I wanted to give you a full range. And then last but not least, it's just the basic red dot. I mean, everyone knows this one. Like, it's just super clean. Like, this is something that you're gonna put on like your AR that's like sniper support. All right, I did want to highlight a few more optics, but I think are definitely usable. And like I said, if something works for you, then use it. And then both of these basically are just a hollow sight, just different types of them. And I wanted to show 2 other hybrids, which is this one and this one. Again, I feel like they're very similar. I just felt like the magnification that you got with it, and there was a lot of visual recoil, especially in the fully zoomed out one. And I felt like even when you put it down to the lower optic, I just felt like there was a lot inhibiting your screen. I did want to highlight them.